Good morning. And what day is it today? It's pizza day, eh? Yeah. Tennessee Jim's Cup. We finally got to use it. Yeah, this is a very special cup. It represents Pizza Day, which has become part of this series. Now, I did come back to the model table yesterday afternoon, and I do have a rather, you might say, extensive rollback. So I don't want to do too much talking about what I did because it'll sort of spoil the rollback, and I'll just be talking about it again. So why don't we just roll back and see how it is we came to this place, and then we'll sort of continue on. Oh, speaking of Tennessee Jim, I got a comment from him last night, and on yesterday's episode, and he came up with a good idea. But I'm going to run with that idea and take it even a little bit further. And we'll probably be talking about that most likely just before we close off today's episode. Anyway, let's roll back and see how it is we got to this place.
Okay, I had it in this one before, but I think I'm going to move it out one. Okay, where's my bicycle wrench here? Now, the reason I'm showing this is because I just know that if I don't, I'm going to get some troll telling me that this is going to unscrew. And it's going to fall on the Rodney. And they'd be right. Now it won't. Okay, there is one thing that is always constant with this, and that is the center of rotation. So I mentioned this before, except I've modified it a little bit, and that is, I want to know where the camera, at what point the camera is going to always be rotating on. So I've rigged this up here, and which should work, except it's binding. This is actually the first time I've tried it, at least like this. There we go. No, it's catching. Why is it catching? Oh, I guess you have to sort of lift up on the string. Alright. There we go. Yeah. Well, sorta. It needs modifying. Okay. So the idea is, I know right now that no matter how far back the camera is, or even if it's off a little bit this way, it's always going to rotate on this point. And that way, let's say you had a turret or something like that, and you wanted it to rotate around the turret. I might even do that yet tonight. We'll see how it goes. Well, yeah, it's always going to stay. Okay. Where are you? Oh, you're way up there. Well, lighting is going to be an issue. I'm going to have to come up with something a little bit better than this, because this is a nuisance to have to set up. Lifting the subject up to the right height, that's not a problem. We just put it on something, cardboard box, or in this case the steady rest that I used to use for the Bismarck and the hood. Anyway, let's just give this a bit of a dry run here. Well, actually, no. Let's do it for real, and we'll look at how well did that glue shrink wrap. Remember, I kept telling you about the glue is going to shrink at the base of all those vents that we put on around the barbette. Anyway, let's just see how it's going to go here. I think I can probably do this better if I'm standing up. Now, the trick is to go slow and steady, and don't let it shake. Well, I think that maybe, being as that this thing turns so easily, it might be better to have a knob on the top here. Like I'm just holding on to the those two nuts that you saw me crimping together. And it turns very, very easily. Okay. I think the idea is good, it just needs a little perfecting. Now it would be nice if I could get at least one item in place this evening. Now, we had said we are not going to put this on. We are not going to put these on. We're not going to put on the jacks. Why is it I never can get that right? Anyway, the flag post. We're not going to put that in. And if you remember way back when we were making these reels, I said we won't label them because we should be able to tell them apart. We've got a small, medium, and a large. There was just the three sizes. And we had said that we probably will be able to tell when it comes to plugging them in the deck because there's little holes that the legs go down into. And it appears to me that we have to use probably the small and the medium. I don't know where we use the large. This one here looks like a large one. Yeah, that looks large. Okay, it's at least it's drawn a lot larger. So anyway, let's just try that. Let's just move in, and it looks like we have to. We'll start with a small one, and we'll see if we can get the small one in place, and it would go just over here. Let's just recompose. Maybe once again, I'll put the camera over on that side, and it'll be looking this way. We almost need the macro lens for this, don't we? Now I don't know how far down those legs have to go. Seems to me the last time we did it, we just used extra thin. I'm kind of getting my head in the light here. Maybe I should have the spotlight. Maybe I should have the spotlight coming in like this. That might work better. I'm going to put the macro lens on and get the spotlight. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, let's try this again here. Now this one leg does not seem to be in the... Okay, let's just leave that like that. It might not be 100% horizontal, but I think if I keep messing with it, I'm only going to make it worse. Okay, now I'm going to reposition. There's going to be another small one go right there. Oh, this one doesn't want to fit at all. I'm gonna have to... Oh, here we go. Maybe it will. Okay, I got those two legs on your side, and it almost looks like... Let's just sort of push it down a bit here. There we go. There we go. That's going to be a good strong fit. Yeah. Let me check the monitor. Boy, you get a good view. Okay, once again, I think we're best off to just leave it alone. Got a little hair or something going on here. Okay, probably a spider web. Maybe I should be using my new bottle. This is the old one. The applicator's kind of not really picking it up. I like to see it. I like to be able to look down and see a little tiny bit of, you know, extra thin sitting in the hole. Well, let's try that. I don't have all day here. one leg that you probably can't see in the back there just doesn't want to fall in the hole. Ooh, I got it on the, well, I'm not going to try and wipe it off. There. I don't think I got it worse. Well, thank you, Gabe. Yeah, that worked pretty good. Okay, now, don't fool with it. I think that might get away with that. Okay, one of these goes right here. It's doing sort of a dry run. It should fit pretty good. I'm noticing that thing that looks like a little gear. I didn't get that on straight, but I just checked a moment ago when I was taking off the blue tack off the bottom. And did I hear somebody say that's too much? Okay. Now I think if I don't mess with it, it's not going to make a mess there, and it'll almost look like weathering. I don't think it has to go down anymore. No, it's seated. Okay, there's one more like that. It goes. You can't see it. It's closer to me. We'll just move everything over here. Yeah, I think that's seated. Okay. What else is there to do now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I don't think I need to circle those. But I was going to quickly put on, just let me zoom in here a bit. Okay, this one, and then the one that goes on the opposite side right here. And they actually go here and here. But I thought at first I had a piece of sawdust on here like this, and I went to pick it off. That's a positioning pin. I didn't notice any holes on these, so we're going to have to deal with that tomorrow. What do we got here? It's almost 9 o'clock. You know, there's no end to it. We get these on, and then I'd say, well, we may as well just put these on, and then these, and then the back, and you know, there's no end to it, and then it's going to be 11 o'clock at night. You know, well, I guess that'd be all right. Anyway, we'll see you in the morning. Okay, it is morning. And what is going on here? I've triple checked. And it's one of these things that has to go there. But what is with that positioning peg? You know, you can clearly see that there's not a hole in the bottom of these. I was just wondering, is it possible that on the Nelson, something slightly different was supposed to go there? I'm just going to take a minute out and check the Nelson manual, just for the fun of it. If there's anything different, I'll show it to you. Okay, probably well over an hour has passed here now, and I did check the Nelson manual. And it calls for the exact same part in that same place. However, when I was going through the Nelson manual, I came across a couple of pieces that we didn't make, and that was the H19 and H47, which is right here. It's extremely similar. And at first I thought, oh, I guess that these are the parts that go on, you know, if you were building the Nelson. But then I realized that there was still not going to be a hole, for the peg to go in. And then I got curious and I checked my own manual, and it turns out that I have missed these parts. I'm supposed to make 2 19s and 2 47s. I'm just going to go ahead and do that off camera. Now, we're sort of running out of time here today. Time is fleeting on, and I'm sort of wasting it. So there's something very important we got to do yet, isn't there? Okay, you will recall right at the beginning of this episode I said something to the effect of Tennessee Jim had given us a comment or given me an idea in his comment. And this cord that runs to the camera, I said I couldn't really use it on this because it would get tangled up as I turned this. And what Tennessee Jim said is, why don't you just sort of wind the cord up before you start to rotate it, and that way you can sort of unwind the cord as it, as you're turning it. Now, being as that this we'd only have to turn one revolution to go all the way around something. I thought, how would it be if I was to have sort of like a you might say a spool sort of thing laying on the top of this, that I could just wrap this thin cord around once. It's 6 feet long, and that one revolution would be take up probably about 3 or 4 feet of it, and then not only that, but then I could slowly pull on the cord to turn this thing, and there would be a lot less vibration from my hand if I wasn't holding on to this. I'm going to work on that later this afternoon and this evening, as well as making up our little parts that I forgot to make here. Anyway, that's going to be it for today, folks. So thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.